With Gokhshtein, and hi, Akil Patterson. How are you doing?
What's going on, DG? Hey, everybody. Welcome to Late Night News. Let's get into this, starting with some great news.
So I think we have to touch on this serious situation.
What serious
So
situation?
here's the situation, guys, and welcome to Late Night News. Had a lot of DMs. People are sending me DMs asking me, "Where's the late night news?" Well, we're here. We're always reporting. Me and Akil back at it again. If you joined us for the breakdown this morning, thank you. A lot of people joined in on YouTube. We appreciate you, and hopefully it continues to grow and we continue to have these conversations. So as you guys understand, me and Akil work nonstop content creation, and obviously there is a real world. And yeah, I happen I'm not supposed to be on tonight, but I happen to go ahead and just doze off for like 20 minutes to try to take a power nap, and you know what happens? The power nap turned into a nap, and well, here I am. I was awakened by a mad I don't want to say woman or man, but it was somebody who was really mad and yelling at me. So I'm here now with Akil Patterson. Yo, what up, Pat?
What's going on, DG? Hey, craziness. And the individual, we love that individual so much. So much we love that
Yes,
individual because
yes.
that individual really helps us stay on point. So shout outs to our individual who knows who
Who's it?
they are.
Yeah, whoever that is. So, all right, cool. Let's first of all, music. I don't know why don't we don't do music on this show. I'm about to freestyle. Honestly, I'm about to make this freestyle track. So let's put on this music and let's get on the way with obviously the show here. Uh, 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 Yo, I was about to do it. Uh, Walling out. All right, cool. So, I guess the big news for me personally is the Ethereum merge. It's still that. It's the Ethereum merge, right, Akil? I mean,
So it's more than just the Ethereum merge. The Ethereum merge has had ripple effects throughout the United States and the world right now. And when I say ripple effects, David, I'm talking about everybody was getting grilled on this. Gensler was from the SEC was having to talk about it. Voyager, like everybody's talking about the Ethereum merger. Now, the Ethereum merger, as we know, just took place less than 24 hours ago, but yet everybody's talking about it. And when I say everybody, we do mean everybody. So apparently, Ethereum has gotten the eye of the Bitcoin maxis, and that means those big time VCs are trying to dump the price right now because they don't like it. That means a little bit of Ethereum price takes a small dip, but nothing too substantial because, again, majority of the Ethereum holders, they ain't VCs. So what the VCs do, they can go VC themselves out the fucking door.
damn. I mean, it's late night news. It's not PG-13. I mean, this is late night news, and yeah, you know what? Um, Shout outs to. So usually I would bring out receipts and I would troll somebody or a shit post, but I see a lot of Bitcoin maxis that have gone onto social media and disrespected Ethereum every single day. I'm not an Ethereum maxi, by the way. I just enjoy watching, projects succeed in our space, in our industry, and I love watching our industry grow. But I've seen the pomps. I've seen all of them. Okay, I'm naming names. I don't give a fuck. Uh, and now they're coming out and congratulating Ethereum on their success with rolling out, Ethereum, basically 2.0 here, POS. And I would troll. I would shitpost. I would do something. I'd be Ric Flair, but I can't. You know why? Because that hurts the industry, and it's the same thing. It's the same thing that I say in rooms, Akil. Right? So like, I go into rooms and I go, well, we got to build this community together. We all have to come together, regardless if we like each other, and we have to build. We have to build. So I'd be a hypocrite if I went out there and started saying, Well, remember this. Remember this. What would that do? I would just be no better than them. So I am happy to see these reactions by the maxis that have finally woken up. You don't have to agree with Ethereum. You don't have to like it, but you understand what they accomplished was monumental for this space, for this industry. It was huge. It wasn't little. This was not a little event. This was a major event. Major. And that's why it's had these ripple effects and will continue to have these ripple effects. They have set the standard in this industry, whether you like it or not. Period, said, and done. There's a lot to learn from this, a lot to learn from this. And I hope, and I really hope, that people will start looking at these major names that used to shit on Ethereum and say, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, we can go back to being that community that we were back in the day, even 5 years ago, 6 years ago. We didn't have these wars. We didn't have these turf wars. We didn't have these Michael Jackson beat it videos. And I'm not talking about you can't have heated debates and stuff. I'm not talking about you can't go ahead and curse somebody out. I'm just saying let's agree to disagree and move on and figure out how to build a space. And speaking of Ginslinger, I heard he was up in where was it at? In Washington.
He was in Congress.
He was
in front of the Senate. He was in front of the Senate banking regulations. And he was getting grilled over the provision of the green energy. Now, there are Democrats and Republicans who both don't understand exactly what's going on. And let me just say this, folks. It's not as easy as, oh, how do you measure how green your company is, right? So Ethereum, Bitcoin, Green ETH, what's the narrative? How do you invest? How do somebody knows? You got to report this. But this wasn't just, so let me tell you how convoluted this subject matter is. We're getting thrown in with fucking oil companies.
It's ridiculous. That's like, ridiculous.
How are we bullshit. Even the same? Like, we're not drilling in the middle of the ocean to get oil. Bitcoin isn't sitting there going, let me drill 10,000 feet down to get this much oil and then ship it across the world. No, they're blaming your PC computer and a memory card this size. See this? This is how big your memory cards are. They're saying that is the problem.
You know, I've said this before. I'll say this again. I'll use an example. You know what? Cows are a bigger issue than what we have going on here with mining. And that's just fact. Are you kidding me? We're going to talk about mining as being an issue. Let's go ahead and let's walk away from crypto in general. Before crypto went ahead and took off, we've had this problem for a very long time. But you know what? It's like we said today. Look me dead in my eyes right now. It's like what we said today. Ethereum has literally saved the planet. It has saved the planet.
It is.
And that, you know, it's a stupid argument. I got to tell you one thing. There's a lot of energy that literally is created and it goes to waste. So, you know, like, you can make an argument for everything. But we understand what this is really about. We get you, we see you, or at least I see you. I know the agenda, I know the narrative, and I see it very well. And I'm not the only person. We're woke. Think Matrix. We're unplugged from the system.
Well, you know I'm unplugged, DG, and that's why I keep telling people the problem isn't energy. Energy is an abundance. Folks, let me just look at you and I'll tell you now. Look me in the face, because David just said, look him in the eye. I'm going to tell you now. Energy is an abundance. It is wind. It is solar. It is water. Hell, it's volcanic. There are so many ways to get energy. The problem is how do you transmit energy? And because we have a failure from our elected officials and our government officials to say, hey, we need to like beef up infrastructure. We need like, how do we get things connected? How do we send energy without having to send it, you know, through a giant pole in the middle of my front yard? Like, there's other ways to do it. But until we start working on infrastructure so we can move energy, they will continue to blame you, the crypto markets. They will blame you, the dad who runs a who runs 4 or 5 units in his house with chips the size of your phone to blame, while oil companies are thrown into the same conversation as you. Yo, folks, we're getting the raw end of the stick. Big corporations that have polluted the world for decades. Yo, answer your own call. You figure out what's wrong with the green energy. Like, that ain't us. We're bringing technology to the world. Our space, our industry brings tech. So get it right and get it going. Senator Warren, I'd love to have you on our show, my show, David's show, wherever it wants. I want to have that. And I know I can get some Democrats and Republicans on my new show coming up. But right now, I want Senator Warren. Senator Warren, come on. Let's have a conversation, because I think we can talk. You just can't talk to everybody else.
You get a conversation with Senator Warren, I know it's you. So I hope that you go ahead and get to sit down with her one-on-one and speak to her about the culture of cryptocurrency. I think that's what Congress is lacking, is the knowledge and understanding of the fundamentals of the culture we have here in cryptocurrency and what it's really about. And I think if they just sat down and listened to us, those that have an open mind and that haven't been paid off by somebody can just listen and understand this industry, they'd really understand why all of us and more people are joining to, should I say, unbank themselves an opportunity, seeking freedom. You know what? If I'm any type of maxi, I'm a freedom maxi. I'm a crypto maxi. That's how I'm going to define myself from now on. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring everybody together. Period. We got this platform. The people gave us this platform. We're going to go ahead and do big things with a platform to make sure that these things are delivered. What's next on the docket?
Speaking on delivering, it looks like Sam FTX, Voyager folks, they're about to buy your assets. Legitimately, it's being rumored that your assets are going to be purchased. And again, this is just the rumors through the media right now. It's that FTX is going to buy the Voyager digital assets out of bankruptcy. All right. What that then could potentially mean is that when they buy your bankruptcy assets out of there, they could own them. But because it could be the whole company they're purchasing, so they're buying all their assets, that means that they may relaunch the platform so that you then will be able to withdraw your funds out, backed by the FTX parent company.
I'm gonna say that if it does happen, it's not a bad play for FTX. First of all, I don't know who the fuck uses FTX. Honestly speaking, I honestly don't know. I haven't met a person that has told me that they use FTX. That's number one, and that's not throwing shade at Sam. Number two, if they do buy it, because it seems like Sam has billions of dollars. So if they do go ahead and buy, Voyager, Voyager did a lot of marketing. They have branded themselves out there. They were They were in NASCAR. They were doing a lot of stuff. So having that, I guess this entity under FTX's control, I think it would be super beneficial. So look, they took on BlockFi and taking on Voyager. I think they, he just reminds me of Warren Buffett. Buffett just slowly acquired, assets, and literally, that's why he's so wealthy today. Purchased these railroads and all these things when they were literally not wanted, and now look at them. So God bless, man. I really do hope. I want to figure out, or I want to really hear how they're going to give people back their money. People who had their money on Voyager. What's in it for them now? Are they going to get their money back? Or will they continue to hold on Voyager?
So this is a very interesting thing. That's one reason why I was telling you, like, they could potentially return the assets back to. So everything, remember, technically all the assets are in the company, right? So the company, if they then make the company whole and they get them out of bankruptcy, that means that Sam and them could then return the assets back to you, the consumer, almost like Binance did several years ago. So I think CZ spoke about this earlier today on CNBC, I believe, and he was talking about, hey, what we did several years ago is that we were going to get some of our assets back when they got hacked. He says after our hack, we got some of our assets back, but we still gave the holders their assets at full rate, and we took the loss. So he understood that the consumer wants theirs, and he's like, you know what, we can take a little bit of a loss. Sam is a billionaire. Let's be very clear. He is a billionaire, a multi-billionaire. He can take the loss. Their companies do have enough. They have enough leverage that they could take a loss, give you back your money, and then you walk away with feeling whole. And guess what? You become a loyal consumer. I think it's a smart play because guess what? He is building his army. He is buying up a lot of small companies that are going insolvent. He's making the consumer whole. And that gives the consumer that feeling of, I'm now not in debt, but I'm indebted because they did the right by me. And if there's anything you and I know, David, it's good consumers. It's like good business. And if you're a business person that shows me love, I'm going to keep coming back to you to the end of time, because you can't sell me a lemon and get return business, but you can sell me a Lexus and get me a little bit of business. And I only said that because our homeboy Leo's out there. David hates Lexuses.
That was disgusting. I don't know where you got Lexus from. That was nasty. But okay, it rhymed, so I'll let you pass on that. If Lexus ever approached us to go ahead and sponsor, I deny it. Anyway, listen, I'm just saying, man, it's real. Well, by the way, I forgot to say this in the beginning. We are sponsored by Unstoppable Domains. I did say it, or I didn't say it?
You did say it. You did say it.
See,
yeah, we're sponsored by Unstoppable Domains.
I actually don't have a good memory, but I have a good well, short, selective, I guess. What else do we have on the docket?
Beyond that, I think the last thing we actually had moving on this was, oh, well, you know what? Can I take a little personal pleasure?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Congratulations to Olympic gold medalist and now world champion Tamara Mishak Warnock from the United States. She won, yes, a woman. She's actually the first African American. She's also a Trump voter, but I don't hold that against her. But she's an African American woman who just won the world championship, and she won the first Olympic gold medal as an African American woman. So congratulations to her, world champion. We're both wrestling fans, David and I. So, and this is real wrestling. This ain't WWE stuff. So I give my shout outs to my folks out there.
I think wrestling is an impressive sport. My dad wrestled. He's a Greek-Roman wrestler, and I would probably never even come close. Forget about even him. I wouldn't even come close to somebody who was doing it for 5 weeks. But listen, it's a hell of a sport. I see a lot of people, though, from the wrestling world are starting to creep into crypto and Web3. So that's pretty cool to see as well. Listen, this is why the space is so beautiful. I got to tell you, I know that I just went ahead and deviated, but to see all these people coming in from all walks of life is incredible. It is incredible, and we are still early. That is the most beautiful thing in the world is we are still early. 5 to 7% of us globally are in.
Yeah, it might have ticked up to 8, but there's not that much.
So
there's not that much.
This is an opportunity for us to finally, again, like I said in the beginning, finally come together and build together. Enough with the animosity, man. We can all do it together. Seriously. Egos aside. And then bring them back in after 10 years. You want to go ahead and put up the egos? You want to put up that ego? Do it in 10 years, man.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if they covered this or not last night, but as everybody knows, there are warrants out for Do Kwon.
Yeah, we covered that.
Oh, you guys covered that last night? Well, other than that,
man.
Huh?
Do Kwon's a piece of shit.
He probably is, but I mean, first off, he got to stop eating his feelings.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question before we finish up here. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Appreciate the support always. Um, and by the way, starting next week, we will be late night news will be on YouTube. So every single show that we have will be on YouTube. So please go ahead, subscribe, hit the notification button on, and literally spread the word, man. We appreciate you guys, and we really want to reach more people. Uh, I wanted to ask you this question. So you've had people that ran businesses, started businesses,
Mhm.
and these businesses went to zero. They failed.
Yeah.
I'm talking about billion-dollar businesses went to zero.
Mhm.
Do Kwon, I'm not. I'm just playing devil's advocate here tonight, and you guys already know how I feel about him. Here comes Do Kwon. He attempts to build a business and it fails. But now he has warrants out for him, and you know people from all walks of life trying to get at him.
Mhm.
Is that right? If you come into this industry, technically everything that is being built here from the tech side is a business in a decentralized world. So, like, to me, is I think that what our space lacks is knowledge of small business and how it starts. And I'm not saying that Luna was a small business or the Terra network was a small business. All I'm saying is that people are coming here, innovators. Some of our most talented people are innovating and creating dope stuff. And unfortunately, not everything is going to work out. You know how many businesses actually thrive in the real world? I'm talking about centralized world. How many succeed? 5%, 7% of all startups? So, I mean, think about these people here coming in. They're young. They're starting a business because it is a business, no matter what anybody wants to say.
Yeah.
And it unfortunately fails. Are we
Here's the
supposed to
deal.
go ahead and go about it this way?
So I'm just gonna.
I'm
So
devil's advocate.
I get you. You're playing devil's advocate, but here's the deal. In the business world, there are rules, right? There are rules to what you can and cannot do.
So, which rule did he break?
That's why they believe there is a belief, right? If they now you got to prove it. You got to get a court to go with you. You got to get somebody to go with you, and it can't just be off of emotion. But if you prove stuff, it's like, what was their intent? Was their intent to defraud the consumer?
So then, would every small business be required to come in to court and explain why their business tanked?
No, not all small businesses do. Matter of fact, think about this, David. We've seen hundreds of rug pulls, hundreds, if
Do you
not
think that?
thousands.
Do you think Terra was a rug pull?
Well, let's
Or do
say,
you think, or can you say that it had its rug pulled
well,
and he
there
was
was
just
so
misguided?
there was a crack in the system, right? So if
Yeah,
he knowingly knew that there was a crack in the system and failed to protect the investors, that's almost criminal. You can
but if
literally
it,
say you knew that there was something wrong with your system, and because you were derelict in duty, you have a duty of responsibility. Because you were derelict in duty and you did not fulfill that responsibility, you are now liable.
but Terra's not a security.
But you said it's a business.
But I'm saying it's a business, but it's not a security. So there are no
So it's a
investors.
business, but you were so if a business was derelict in their duties and failed to protect the investor or the consumer or whatever, that means he's ultimately he can be held liable and responsible for it. Now, how is he going to be criminally liable for it? I don't know.
That's what I'm
But
talking
guess
about.
what? They're looking for ways, and I think that's why he has the arrest records. Plus, I'm not a Korean law expert, so I can only assume at this point there is something in the law that they've codified that says you were running an illegal business or you did something that we did not approve of and that you did not have permission to do. I mean, there's a lot of different avenues, and that's why the law is so important in whatever jurisdiction you end up in. You just got to know what's going on.
Listen, it's always a good debate. It's always a good debate. You guys know where I stand with Do Kwon, but it's always good to go ahead and talk about it. It's always good to debate. Um, And on that note, this was the late night news with me. My name is David Gokhshtein. If you haven't heard, now you heard.
Now
Almost
you
went into a
know.
biggie lyric. Almost went, yeah. And that is Akil Patterson. Say hi to him and follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Yeah, look at me. I'm plugging away. And by the way, we'll be back on Monday on YouTube once again with the breakdown, episode 60. We'll probably be talking about the Ethereum merge along with the Ethereum surge and the Ethereum. Go ahead, say it. Ethereum.
Splurge.
No. Vitalik's.
Oh, that's you. Listen,
I'm just
Vitalik.
saying. You're the one.
Shout
Before
out.
we came
Shout
on, you were
outs to
talking about.
Vitalik. Shout outs to Vitalik. Shout
I'm
outs to
just saying.
Vitalik.
Before you came on, you were like, "Yo, shout out." By the way, shout out to Vitalik for sending this over. It's a model. It's a
It's a mold.
it's a molding of his of that picture.
I think
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start wearing it in my pants at this point and be like, "Yo, what's up?" Like,
Unstoppable Domains. They must love us. Unstoppable Domains. This is sponsored and powered by Unstoppable Domains. Go get yourself an NFT domain name, gokhsteinmedia.com, and also the swag. We're selling out, by the way. I gotta say, like, people are buying swag. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for. You know what? I really want to do something really nice for the first person who did buy. I saw that thing come through. I was like, wow, people want the merch. They understand how hot it is. So thank you so much. Get the merch on gokhsteinmedia.com and also get yourself an NFT domain name from Unstoppable Domains. Akil, you want to send this off?
all right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at Gokhshtein Media for the late night news, presented by Gokhshtein Media, but we are powered by Unstoppable Domains. My name is Akil Patterson. That's David Gokhshtein. You have a great night and an even better tomorrow.